say that when I first heard there was going to be a new BattleStar Galactica, I was really upset. But you guys have more than won me over, so you guys are doing a great job. Thank you. And second, my question is mostly for Richard. I was just curious how you feel the new Apollo character is being portrayed as compared to the one that you did so many years ago. What do you think about the new characteristics of this character?
Well, I'm really being so much more. There comes a time in your life when you can't bullshit yourself anymore, you know? And honestly, when I look at myself 28 years ago, I'm not even a fraction of the accomplished actor that I think Jamie Bamber is. And so I think he's bringing such incredible skill to playing Apollo. And also, you know, I hate to say this, but they didn't allow for the kind of writing 28 years ago, you know, that they're writing for characters now that actors love to play, very complex, you know, multi-level characters. And I just think that, you know, the writing material for Jamie that I would have died to, you know, been able to have a chance to play. And so I think he's doing an incredible job, and unlike maybe some people that, you know, thought maybe there was an awkwardness there, maybe there was initially, just because I had worked so hard to bring back the original show, and of course all these decisions were made to reimagine it. But when I met everybody on the cast, first of all, Katie Sackhoff came and she helped me in a line at an airport when I was late, and I was thinking about sneaking in front of everybody. There's a Tom Zarek coming out again. But Katie was in line way ahead of me, and I was like late, and I didn't know who she was. And she just intuited what I was thinking, and she said, "Come over here." She pulled me in line, and she saved me the flight, getting on the flight in time. And then later on, I found out it was Katie Sackhoff, you know. And then she was an incredibly lovely lady, and that was my first introduction to the cast of the new Battlestar. And when I finally got asked to do it, and went up there, she graciously brought me in, introduced me to everybody. It was great to have somebody that I knew. And then, of course, I got a chance to meet Jenny Bamber, who came directly over without any arrogance or attitude or anything, and just sat down and said how much I loved the show, how much I loved you in it. And he was just so gracious. And that really kind of just opened the door to a totally different communication. And from that moment, I have to tell you, with Jamie, I mean, obviously we can talk about the entire cast, and we will, but I have never met such a gracious, down-to-earth, genuine, from the heart human being, honestly. I mean, there's a lot of riffraff in this industry, okay? There's a lot of big egos, but Jamie is not one of them. And I think that Jamie brings a lot of his own heart and soul, and this gentleman in him that is so respectful and so honoring of other people. He brings a lot of who he is to Apollo. So I have to tell you, I sit back and I really appreciate Jamie, and I appreciate tremendously what he's doing with Apollo. My only problem is, I wish to God, the good guy, the down-to-earth, you know, true blue character, always gets sometimes taken for granted. You ever notice? It's always the bad boy, it's always the, you know, the troublemaker that gets all the attention. And so, you know, the kind of true blue good guy kind of gets pushed to the side and taken for granted. So I just wish there was a way, you know, because I felt the same way with Apollo 28 years ago. And I think, you know, there's a little bit of that similarity in the new Apollo, even though, my God, he's getting such great material to play. But nevertheless, that character tends to somehow get taken for granted. I wish there was a way to put him in some kind of catastrophic something that would allow everybody to see just how amazing that guy is. You know, not only Jamie, but obviously the character. But hopefully in the new season, and God knows there's some of the most incredible writing I have ever seen in the new season coming out. And this guy knows, if you can corner him and get enough drinks into him, he knows everything in front and behind the scenes. So he's the guy to talk to. But nevertheless, that's all I have to say.
It was amusing. After we had our panel on Friday, I leave the room and my phone rings, and it was one of the writers. And okay, episode 316, in season 3, episode 16, we have this, and this. And I said, and he stopped and said, "Are you conning?" I said, "Yeah, I just got out of the panel." He said, "Oh, don't worry, no matter where you are, we will find you if we need you." Okay, best story I had.
So, Kevin, this is primarily directed towards you. One, it's Monday morning at DragonCon. Everyone else is drinking water. There's a lot of water in the audience. You're drinking Mountain Dew. And so as a science advisor, I was wondering if you know something that we don't.
I know that caffeine addiction is a serious problem. And I'm very proud of one of those people who hack code for a living. So, yeah, that'd be me.
My real question, perhaps, although that was, sincere and genuine, have the writers ever come to you with something that you just look at them and you're like, you never took science in high school, did you? Looking at them sort of pityingly, but lovingly.
Different writers have different levels of science acumen, and as a character-driven show, you hire someone like me to make up for whatever they had or didn't have, and their job is to write the characters, and my job is to write the science. So it really doesn't matter how much science acumen they have. But two of them, Bradley Thompson and David Weddle, pretty routinely will call me before they start the story and say, "Hey, let's talk the science in this one." So they incorporated, pretty much interweave it from the word go. For others, I'll get the script, after they're done, and there may be little or nothing to do. Interestingly enough, I got a lot of comments about one particular. Everybody's seen part 2 of the last the season finale. Everybody's seen the cliffhanger, right? Yeah. Okay. In the cliffhanger, I actually gotten a couple of compliments from one from a math professor on the fact that we had the explosion on Cloud 9, and we settled Cloud 9, and then the whole 1 year later thing, and then the Silence jumped in, and somebody noticed the attention to detail that, they said we're a little over a light year away, and we got the signature of a nuclear explosion, and we jumped right in. So you assume that they jumped pretty much immediately, they pounced on them immediately as soon as they recognized the signature. And people said, well, that's really great attention to detail, that it took light a year to get to them, and then of course they came in immediately. The fact of the matter is, I had nothing to do with that. Anne and Mark, the 2 writers, actually had that nailed before I even saw it. I just had to say, okay. So it's varying levels of discipline or science. What's the word for literacy? In fact, Anne Cofell Saunders, who we actually got for 24. Her sister is a immunologist or something like that, so she has the biology nailed. So they get very different levels, but in this show, they don't have to be scientifically literate. That's what I'm for, and they're there to write the characters, and they do that really well.
By the way, real quick, he used to pitch for Star Trek, and so Kevin is not only a scientist, but he's also a story writer. And I think there's some opportunities for you maybe next year with Eureka to pitch some stories.
Hi,